Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the American Tier 10 Premium Medium Tank, the T95E6. Now, if you haven't guessed by the title, as always, this will be the third mark video for the tank. And it's a tank that honestly is just an absolute joy to play. Pre 6.0, the gun was derpy as all hell. It loved to miss shots. It really did. It was just annoying like that, but I enjoyed it because I thought the reload was great. The gun was derpy, but if you just fully aimed your shots and sort of just made sure most of the time, you'd hit your shots. And plus I played it pretty aggressively in people's faces rather than sort of mid-range. I was pretty much in people's faces brawling, so I didn't miss all that many shots with it, and I really did enjoy the tank. But then post 6.0 came along, and the gun, well, the derpy gun was not an issue anymore. It just doesn't really miss that often. And that meant with the extra 10% DPM you also had from the new crew skill, Rapid Reload, the tank was just fabulous. The T95E6 became just a beast. You got a 5.8 second reload when you're popping food and stuff like that. It's honestly amazing. And then the buff came. And yeah, the tank got buffed. And it was some buffs that, to be honest, in the post 6.0 world especially, it didn't need, because the tank just became, it's just become insane. To be honest, I think this tank has become borderline OP, if I'm perfectly honest, because it's got very good speed, it's got decently troll armor, so it's not armor that you can guaranteed rely on, but it's troll, so it will bounce quite a lot of shells anyway. The gun handling, going from 0.38 to 0.35, means the tank's gun is absolutely fabulous. The aim time buff, which I think was 2.3 to 2.1, just means that the gun is now, you're aimed in on the target, it's dead quick. And not just that, they buffed the dispersion of the tank while it's on the move, which means that you can just snap shots while you're on the move incredibly easily. Added to the accuracy skills and stuff like that, this gun just barely ever misses. And the tank's just utterly ridiculous now. For anyone that's had the pleasure of experiencing it, it's just crazy. And it's so much fun to play. And it's just damn good. And yeah, it's a joy now. And like I say, to be honest, it's probably borderline OP. So, we're on Katherine. And we've played very aggressively. We took this position here. When we came around the corner, you'll have seen me attack the STRV. I didn't realise he was there, or more, I didn't notice he was there. So when I pushed around the corner, I was like, oh, there's an STRV here. Then the gorilla came round, gave us a big shot in the back, which was not very nice of him. And yeah, now we're in a position where we're just sort of brawling on these ridge lines, and we're doing exactly what the T95E6 needs to be doing, and that is just keeping this fabulous gun firing. I was about to say, it just never misses, but then we miss, because of course we do. But yeah, it needs to be in that situation where the gun is just firing non-stop, and it's beautiful. The one drawback to this tank is its ammo capacity. It's got no ammo, and that leads to issues at times where you just run out, and you're like, oh, I need more to carry. But that's an annoyance, really, more than anything. So we've attacked this Conqueror, and Swindle was like, right, I've got the health, I can distract this guy. He's just done a full circle round him, and I tried to keep tracking him and pinning him down there so he couldn't move. This TVP is now going for Swindle. He is sacrificing his whole health for it, and we managed to shut him down. Swindle's in the M48 120mm, which is it's just nowhere near as good as this tank, as another 3 XP premium tier 10 medium tank. This tank is so much better. If it ever comes back up, this is the one you want instead of that one, for the reasons you're seeing in this video, just how lethal it is. Now, unfortunately, we just about hit the turret of that Conqueror, so that bounces. We're looking for a shot of the 268 version 5, snap the shot straight in, and now we're going to try and get a shot of this Conqueror, but he is currently looking at us, and we are a one-shot for that Conqueror, so I don't really want to go over and take the hit. Swindle's popping shots into him at the minute. I'm in an awkward position, like I say, where all I can see is this turret. and he can see me very easily, which means I'm going to die. Unfortunately, he shuts down Swindle. There's still only 4 tanks left, and they're all in front of us down there. Well, 3 of them are anyway. And I'm thinking, right, I can't poke up this position anymore in front of this Conqueror, because he is going to shoot me. It's just not a good position. Now he's getting shot by my friend. He's distracted. We pop round the corner, and unfortunately we've only got heat left, which is something I didn't realise when we were going for the side there. The heat, unfortunately, just got absorbed by his spaced armour, because that's what heat does. And that meant we didn't pen him, which meant that's why I aimed for this turret there, at the back end of his turret. Rather than shoot the side where I could bounce, I just decided to go for the side of the turret where the heat wasn't going to get absorbed, and it was an easy pen. Then we get a shot behind the Jagdpanzer, and there's only 1 tank left. There's a light tank. Could be anywhere. I think he might have been spotted in this general direction over here somewhere. So we're going to try and pop up and get a shot at him. But unfortunately he's not. He's actually directly behind us on the ridgelines where we were brawling earlier on. So we're going to change the route that we were going, and we're going to go chase after this guy. I mean, just look at the mobility of the tank. 56 kilometers an hour on this tank is pretty damn quick, and the fact that this gun barely ever misses on the move and is fully aimed very quickly and is pretty damn accurate nowadays, this tank is just fabulous. It really is. I think probably the only 2 drawbacks to it are its ammo capacity and the shell velocity, because the shell velocity is not bad, no word of a lie. That was a bad shot, by the way. The shell velocity isn't bad. It's like 1,000 meters a second or a bit more than that, but it's not sort of a lot of, like, take the M60 for instance, where it's like 1,400 meters a second, you know, which is filthy. So it means you've got to lead your targets a lot better at times. But honestly, the gun handling is just amazing on it. And like I said, when you're firing shots, you can snap shots mad. So we finished that game with 7 kills, 5.8k damage, Devastator, Ace Tanker, High Caliber, Sniper, Top Gun, 1,863 base XP, and 2.2k assist. So that's about 7-8k combined. Very nice game for the T95E6. And then we're on to the second game, and this second game we're on Arctic region, and I'm thinking, you know what, I go to the ridge at G6-7, the little position on that little ridge, and in that way I can get shots up north, I can get shots down south, and I can just sort of alternate my positioning on this little ledge to basically do what this, like I say, what this tank is good at, and that is keeping its gun firing and in the game. And this ridge here is a good position because it means that if they commit to the north, obviously I can reposition very easily. They commit to the south, again, I'm in a great position to get shots. From this position as well, I can also get some very good shots up north and south and in the mid as well. And we're getting some nice shots now into this Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. Now I want to get rid of this Rheinmetall Panzerwagen because, well, it's a light tank and it needs to go. Especially if he's taking up these little positions here, because he's just going to keep me lit. We get another shot through his side, leave him on 228 hit points, and we're hopefully going to finish him off. Unfortunately, we led that really badly, and that means he gets away with his health. Now we're detected when we put around that corner. Probably something that's going to be staring at us, which we don't really want to take a hit from. So now I'm moving forward. I'm going to try and move into the bushes in front of me, and I'm going to do this now to try and see if we can get some good shots up north. Now we've got a nice shot into the T77 there, and we're nice and covered by these bushes in front of us. We've got the good camo, because I mean this tank's decently camoed as well, and with the bushes in front of us, that means he's barely going to be able to spot us. Unfortunately, he gets unspotted now because the light tank was the one that was spotting him. And I want to try and get some shots out again and see if we can just light anything up by pushing into these bushes. Now there's a CS-59 up there. If he pushes up into that position again, I can get shots into him, and I can then get some nice damage on him. And obviously it's a CS-59. It's not got any armour, so he's not going to be as much of a threat while he's hull down. This Jagdpanzer is now rolling into the fray, because of the good reload and DPM, and the fact that this has got a 120mm cannon as well, it means that we can actually keep this guy permatracked with the 5.87 8-second reload. Unfortunately, because he got unspotted, he must have burnt his repair kit though, and he's not actually still tracked there because we didn't get a little pop-up in the corner. Try and pop a blind shot at the medium tank there. Unfortunately, don't hit him. And like I say, you're just trying to keep the gun firing. You're trying to keep looking for those opportunities to keep working over this DPM. And this position here is a good one for that. But you've just got to be a little bit careful, because if you get spotted here, yeah, if you get spotted here, that's death, generally. Because there's a lot of tanks in a lot of positions which can hurt you from so many areas, and if you want to try and get away from this position, yeah, you're going to take a lot of hits. Now we get a nice shot into that guy over there in their cap, and now we're spotted. It's like, oh, okay, I've got to be careful. I've just got to try and keep moving. Don't make yourself an easy target. Fortunately enough for us, when we got spotted there was nothing else looking at us. And I'm watching our team down south. Our team is pushing quite aggressively up their 9 line, which makes me want to now push the northern area, because obviously that means that there must be a lot of tanks in this northern area where we can get shots at. So decided, screw it, we're going up north, we're going for it, we're going this way, and I want to push into that ridge line directly in front of us there. We're making the aggressive pushy play to do it. Now we get a nice shot on the move into that 268 version 5, just to avoid the rock, because my driving is terrible, we could have been bad there, and we managed to get here. We snapped the shot into the T97 there. That's the ability of this tank to snap shot right there. And now we're going for shots at this M48 120mm. I wanted to get to this position because it was a good place to possibly attack behind their guys. Oh my goodness, that's what I mean about this gun now. This gun is just fabulous. Look how much we just snapped that cupola of that Jagdpanzer. Like, that's a heavily armoured TD, and it's a cupola weak spot that is not that great. Not that great. I should say not that easy to hit, and we snapped it so easily. This gun's fabulous. So now Swindle's joined us in this position. It means we're not alone, and we're just going to attack this M48 120mm now. This light tank is being a pest. He just keeps pushing in behind us here. We get a nice shot free aimed into him. The M48 120mm is now gone from in front of us. I'm going to try and get a nice shot again into this HWK-12. Now, unfortunately, we missed that shot though, and we're going to try and finish him off, but he actually ends up juking us again, full Neo, really annoyingly. And now we get shot by this Bulldog. Now we get a nice shot into him, and hopefully we're going to get another shot in. Try and track him, but unfortunately we don't. He's still being a pest and hit us every shot on the move. We're making sure we aim it, and we finish him off. Now there's only 2 tanks left. They're directly in front of us. It's the heavy and the medium. And we're going to try and get a shot into this T57 heavy. It's that CS59 from earlier on as well. We get a nice shot into him, like I say, because he's got no armour. We've got to be a bit careful, because we've got no hit points left, which means that these guys could quite easily finish us off. I want to get... We're in a good position, right? We've had some good damage out already. We're at 6k, and I want to just be greedy and get as many as I can in. Now the T57 heavy is moving forward to attack that light tank. He's actually fired his whole clip, which means he's dead. And unfortunately we don't get to finish him off, but we do have a really nice game in the T95E6 again to get us even further and closer to that 3rd mark of excellence for the tank. And we finished that game with 4 kills, 6.7k damage, 349 assisted, ace tanker, high caliber, and that put us up to 92.51. And then we had a couple of good games in between this one and the next one, and that put us in a good position to get the 3rd mark. That was only 1600 base XP as well, because I think we did shoot a couple of tier 8s. But that game genuinely showed just how fantastic this gun is, because just some of the shots we snapped in were just utterly filthy. Like that one on that Jagdpanzer's cupola, I'm still watching it back. It's just mental. Because at that point I was thinking, oh god, I'm going to die to this Jagdpanzer, and then we just snapped the shot straight into his cupola. It's like, at 400 metres, it's like, no, okay, fair enough. So we're on to the 3rd and final game now, and we're on Port. This, you can tell this was from pre-7.0, I want to say. Yeah, it was pre-7.0, because Port's still at tier 10. And I know people go, oh, tier 10 Port, no, this will be dreadful. And honestly, for a tank that's got such high DPM and pretty damn decent armour, Port's a good map for you, because you can just be so aggressive and use this solid DPM with a solid gun and the solid armour to just absolutely maul tanks. And this is pretty much what we do in this game. Now this Object 260 is caught out in the open, and we are just butchering the poor guy. We shut him down, and that's the first tank down in the game. We're a minute and 10 seconds in. We've already done 1600 damage with 946 combined, 2k. So that's 3k combined already. And to do this mark of excellence on this tank, it was about 3.5 4k I needed, which is very low for a tier 10 medium. So, to get any decent movement, with this next shot into the M48 pattern, we're already there. We're not dropping. We've already got 4k combined. And, you know, that's sort of what we needed to not drop and to get a little bit of movement. And now we're getting more spotting. We're at 5.4, and at this point I'm already like, oh, okay, I've already got the third mark of excellence, because I know that I was on 94.2, I think it was, so I needed a 0.8 rise. And I'm like, 5.5k combined, that's probably a 0.8 rise already in this tank, because it's quite an easy 3 mark. And now we've got a nice shot into the 60 TP there. We actually snapped the shot in, tracked him in a really awkward position, and like I said, the DPM on this tank is so good that you can just perma-track them. And now me and Swindle are tag teaming the poor guy. We were keeping him perma-track there, but he uses his repair kit and gets his tracks back up, which means that we can't keep him pinned there and just fireball the damage, unfortunately. We were detected there, which meant that we were being looked at by something from somewhere. So I decided, you know what, okay, we're going to try and spot what it was. We boost our view range with food, and we do spot this Pantera, which means we get a little bit more assisted. And it was just using the spotted and detected thing there to just realise that there was still stuff that could see me, and I could try and spot and get assisted on, because we're already up to a good amount of assisted, right? If we could spot more up and we've still got shooters, it's going to push more up on the mark. So I just boosted the food and went forward to see if we could spot anything, and we did. So I'm trying to look for shots at this tortoise, and he's just driving around in the position, which means I get a nice shot through his cupola. I don't want to take a shot off him though, so I'm trying to pull back a bit. We are unspotted. Get another shot straight through his cupola, but we pull back because, well, he just spotted us, and like I say, I don't want to take a hit off him. But he's an unfortunate tortoise, which means, well, he's an inner tortoise, which unfortunately means for him, he's really easy to tear apart with most tier 10 tanks, because I can pen his cupola, but I can also pen his machine gun port on the right hand side. But we don't need to pen his machine gun port or his cupola, because he ended up giving his ass to us, and it was very greatly received. So we shut down that tortoise, and now I'm thinking, right, I want to get some shots into this TD. That TD is going to be facing where Swindle is in the other TD, so I'm deciding, you know what, I'm going to come up behind him and get some shots into him. It's a waffly 100 actually, which is why we've loaded the HE. He's facing the light tank. We get a nice shot through the back of his turret for 410. 410 with HE just feels a little bit disappointing. That's the damage rolls there letting us down. Now there's a hard case and an M4, a CS63, sorry, in front of us. We managed to shut down the CS63. I'm very happy that the hard case has carried on, because I've only got heat left, which I'm not going to be able to do much to the hard case with, because all spaced armour. And now we're just going to push this M48 120mm to aggressively, because I can bounce this guy. I know I can bounce this guy if I angle up correctly. He's going to struggle to bounce me, especially since I only have heat left. And not just that, I also reload so much quicker than he does, for saying we've got the same gun. Because I reload in 5.8 with food boosted, he reloads in about 6.5 with food boosted. We get a nice shot into track him there, and we've got this guy pinned in place, so we're going to pop a shot straight through his engine deck. I've got heat in, so I don't want to aim for the drive wheel, because obviously with only having heat left, it could get absorbed. So I'm trying my best to aim at that guy and avoid his spaced armour. We unfortunately don't get the kill at him because the T100 LT shuts him down, but I know this game's over for me. I've finished it, but we've had a great game now in the T95E6 to finish the third mark on this tank. And we finish off with style, gun pointed in the air, saluting. Salute! And we finish this game with 4 kills, 7.2k damage, 2.8k assisted, ace tanker, high caliber. That was 10k combined to finish the mark of excellence, up to 95.16. And in fact, actually, I think it was at 93.9. Actually, I think I remember doing it and going, oh, that was the third mark. Oh, right, that was a big jump. It was a really nice game for what is an absolutely fantastic tank, which I think is probably borderline OP, and it's always worth picking up if you can get it. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!